Big meltdown over Thalapathy Vijay's speech. DMK calls the actor turned Neta a BJP proxy. Congress hurls flimsy dialogue jibe. Big win for our forces in Jammu and Kashmir's Akhnoor. 3 Pakistani terrorists eliminated. Ace army dog Phantom killed in action to save our soldiers. Prime Minister Modi targets Bengal Delhi government over Ayushman Bharat scheme. Aam Aadmi Party and TMC hit out, claims centre copied their state government's health schemes. Another threat to actor Salman Khan. Baba Siddiqui's son Zishan also threatened. 20-year-old threat caller arrested from Noida. Massive revelation in India Today's digital arrest expose. Foreign link of scammers in Myanmar, Cambodia emerged. Indians roped in with dubious job offers. All right, viewers, our top story. India-China disengagement has neared completion in eastern Ladakh, with the process nearly over at the Depsang Plains and Demchok region. Sources say India-China armies will now cross-verify the position vacated, as well as the verification of the removal of all temporary infrastructure. High-level talks are anticipated at the Corps Commander level to outline patrolling protocols in these buffer zones after the disengagement process is done. Meanwhile, sources say after disengagement, India and China will negotiate border patrolling rights in the eastern sector. A mega joint exercise of the Indian Army, Navy and Air Force will kick off from November 8th to activate major assets. Immediately collect to my colleague Gaurav Sawant, who's joining us, getting us up to speed with the latest developments as they take place in disengagement. Gaurav, with what happened on the sidelines of the Brics summit now culminating where the line of actual control is concerned and some very, very contentious points. Give us the latest.
Preeti, you're absolutely right. Both Depsang and Demchok were extremely contentious, and these were two areas where China wasn't willing to pull back, saying that these are legacy issues and predate the 2020 standoff. But India stuck to our guns and insisted that a pullback from here, disengagement from here is essential for bringing the relationship on an even keel peace and stability and tranquility at the borders is a basic prerequisite. So that step one towards peace and tranquility at the borders has been taken with disengagement. Now step two is verification of disengagement and taking down of the temporary fortifications that had been constructed. But do remember, because this was almost a no war, no peace situation. There was an apprehension, especially post Ganwan, that it could lead to a hot war, and that is why warlike fortifications had also been constructed, some temporary, some permanent. As of now, the temporary infrastructure will be taken down, cross-verified, and then the corps commanders on two sides will decide how will the patrolling take place? A fixed number of Indian soldiers and fixed number of Chinese soldiers. Indian soldiers will go up to their patrolling points. The Chinese soldiers will come up to their claim lines and ensure that they don't do it on the same day, and perhaps inform each other when this will happen. And the number should not be so much that it leads to any friction, and they will not carry out any permanent, staying in that area. So a lot of protocols are being worked out right now. New confidence building measures will have to be undertaken, because all the confidence building measures that had been put in place from 1993 to 96 to 2006 to 2014, China threw all of them out of the window when it transgressed. So now fresh CBMs will have to be put in place to rebuild that trust and ensure the LAC remains peaceful. That's easier said than done, Preeti.
Appreciate you joining us, Gaurav. The work now chalked out where either sides of the divide on how they hold up, especially after what went down on the sidelines of the Brics summit on a bilateral between India and China. But India has been burnt many times before where China is concerned. Will it be a cloak and dagger game again? India needs to be careful, as Gaurav Sawant pointed out. Let's quickly move on now, where a fresh centre versus opposition showdown is brewing. This time over the Modi government scheme, Ayushman Bharat. While benefits have now been extended to all senior citizens aged 70 and above, Prime Minister Modi took aim at the Delhi and Bengal governments for opting out of the scheme, claiming politics took precedence over progress. The Aam Aadmi Party has hit back, claiming large-scale frauds happened under the centre's scheme, making the Kejriwal health model more ideal for Delhi residents, while the Trinamool Congress party claims the centre copied the Bengal government's health scheme.
मैं दिल्ली के 70 साल के ऊपर के जितने बुजुर्ग हैं और पश्चिम बंगाल के 70 साल के ऊपर के जितने बुजुर्ग हैं, उनसे क्षमा मांगता हूं कि मैं आपकी सेवा नहीं कर पाऊंगा। मैं उनसे क्षमा मांगता हूं कि मुझे पता तो चलेगा आपको कष्ट है, मुझे जानकारी तो मिलेगी, लेकिन मैं आपको सहाय नहीं कर पाऊंगा।
ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर साहब ने जो बोला है वो उन्होंने कोशिश किया पब्लिक को कंफ्यूज करने के। अब देखिए, जो सेंट्रल स्कीम जो है उनका जो रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन है वो तो हर परिवार का हर आदमी वो तो अवेल नहीं कर सकता। ममता जी के लीडरशिप में गवर्नमेंट स्वास्थ्य साथी जो स्कीम है ये हर परिवार का हर आदमी का पूरा कवरेज का जो व्यवस्था यहाँ पर है, तो उनके कंपैरिजन में तो दिल्ली का प्राइम मिनिस्टर का वो जो स्कीम्स है वो तो कुछ भी नहीं है।
All right, let's cut across to my colleague Milan Sharma, who's going to be joining us live with the latest. But because we've seen this take place, especially where state elections come. At the time of Bengal elections, it was an all-out face-off between the BJP and the Mamata Banerjee TMC government then over the two respective schemes. One which had transpired and which was offered at a central level, Ayushman Bharat, and the other which was the health scheme given by the TMC government. Similarly, where the Delhi government is concerned. Milan Sharma joining us live for more. Milan, what more can you add?
Well, Preeti, of course, the charge leveled by the Prime Minister is certainly based on the two states, Delhi as well as West Bengal, not wanting to become part of the Ayushman Bharat scheme because these governments in their own state, they run their own schemes for healthcare. And the Prime Minister there said that because they are not joining the scheme, the elderlies and those who are, benefiting from the scheme are not getting those kind of benefits, and therefore, they should rise above politics and become part of the national healthcare scheme, which is providing 5 lakh cover for hospitalization for many of the elderly people. In fact, the Prime Minister said that he is sorry that because of this politics between the opposition states, these people are not able to reap the benefits of the Ayushman Bharat scheme there. Preeti?
All right, Milan, appreciate you joining us with that quick update. Meanwhile, dipping into the news break coming in right now where the Election Commission is concerned. All of that coming in the wake of the Haryana results. Viewers, the Congress had approached the Election Commission where they had alleged that the EVMs used during the Haryana elections were faulty. The EC has rejected the Congress's faulty EVM charge, saying allegations unfounded and baseless. The Commission cautions the Congress party and other political outfits against unfounded and sensational complaints at sensitive junctures like polling and counting day. Irresponsible allegations can lead to public unrest, turbulence and chaos. The Election Commission of India has called upon the Congress party to refrain from these allegations. Commission urges Congress to take firm and concrete steps and curb tendency of what they say is frivolous complaints. All of this had taken place, viewers, when on the counting day the results clearly went in the favour of the Bharatiya Janata Party. The Congress delegation had approached the Election Commission stating certain EVMs which even during midday of counting at about 2 or 3 p.m. had about 90% battery, and some of the seats where they said was as per the Congress alleging issues where these EVMs were concerned. They had approached the Election Commission on that. Even at the back of it, when the Chief Minister Nayab Singh Saini was taking oath in Haryana, the Congress had also approached the Supreme Court that due to the faulty EVMs, the oath taking should be halted. The Supreme Court had, of course, turned down that plea then, and now the EC coming in with very strong words where the Congress's charges are concerned. Aishwarya, my colleague who tracks the Election Commission, on the phone line with us. Aishwarya, what more can you add?
Well, you know, Preeti, one of the things that the Election Commission has been time and again speaking about are the kind of claims that have been made. And let me tell you, this is a very detailed order. All the claims that were being made by the Congress party, all of them have been refuted one by one. In fact, the links of all the complaints have also been given out in this order copy. Not just that, one of the things that the Election Commission is now asking the Congress to do is not to make these kind of charges. The Commission, however, very clearly has said that it is okay for you, to raise doubts because that speaks about the democracy of the country, but you cannot be making these kind of frivolous charges. The Commission also has said that, after every elections, these kind of charges are made, which actually are a sign which points towards the fact that this could also mean that you are trying to weaken India's democracy. So that's a stern warning being given by the Election Commission. And in a very detailed order, Preeti, let me tell you, the Commission has refuted all the claims and said that all these claims are only doubts that are being raised by the Congress party. Preeti.
All right, appreciate you joining us. Aishwarya, we'll come back to you for more updates in the story. Let's quickly now move on from this news break and cut across to Wayanad, where Priyanka Gandhi is making her political debut. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra in full campaign mode, rallying supporters ahead of the November 13th by-polls. On day 2 of her mission Wayanad, Priyanka held a roadshow in Kozhikode, addressing a packed crowd. She accused opponents of orchestrating a smear campaign against her brother, Rahul Gandhi, and claimed large sums were spent to tarnish his reputation. She acknowledged the support that there is in Wayanad for Rahul Gandhi and hoping that it would come to her now. Meanwhile, the BJP escalated its criticism, questioning Priyanka's financial declarations in her nomination affidavit.
Politics becomes only about being powerful, only about staying in power by any means, whether it is dividing people, spreading hatred, spreading anger, creating situations like you have seen in Manipur and in other states. Then the whole basis of politics becomes completely wrong. All the policies that the BJP government, Modi ji's government are making are being made for the benefit of his 5 or 6 big businessmen friends. There is no compassion for farmers. Here you have a tradition of agriculture, and agriculture is the basis of your community. And yet you continuously promised MSP for your crops and you don't get it. A massive campaign was unleashed against my brother to tarnish his reputation. Lots of money, lots of resources were poured into that campaign. And that is when all of you, each one of you who voted for him, who supported him, who loved him, who gave him courage and affection, stood for what is right.
In Wayanad, campaigning for Priyanka, she's making a poll debut in Wayanad. What are the expectations like as a party?
Well, I'm just very excited by the entire atmosphere and the way in which her campaign has got off to such a good start. She doesn't speak like a regular politician. election. She speaks warmly as a mother, as a sister, as a daughter. And she wants the people of Wayanad to embrace her in that spirit, and that comes across very beautifully. You saw the audience today, large crowds, large number of women, and they just reacted with so much of positivity and affection to her message. So I think it's going to be a very exciting campaign. She's going to continue like this, and we'll all try and replicate her message in our own rallies and meetings.
Priyanka Gandhi has submitted false information, and she has concealed many of her income and case records. So this is a violation of People's Act rule, and we have given copies of the court orders and the Income Tax Department's appellate authorities' verdicts on the supporting evidences we have submitted.
My colleague Shibi Mol joining us from Wayanad with the latest. Shibi, get us up to speed. A fiery speech made by Priyanka Gandhi, but the BJP continuing with its campaign on Priyanka Gandhi's declaration of her financial status in a nomination affidavit.
Exactly, Preeti. Well, that's the only political attack that we're seeing also taking place between all the three candidates, because the left, if you look at the left, they've been pretty silent. There's no fierce attack taking place between any of the three, between the left and the Congress this time, unlike what we saw in 2024 Lok Sabha elections, when the left consistently raised this argument against Rahul Gandhi that, he should be contesting in a North Indian state against the BJP, which is the main enemy of the India alliance. But that's not happening this time. The left has been pretty silent with this campaign, but the BJP has been, consistently, ever since Priyanka Gandhi filed her affidavit, they've been raising this allegation that she's not shown assets clearly, she's, not shown the wealth that she owns properly. Also, this wealth owned by her spouse has also not been shown, is what they have been saying. But of course, her affidavit, her nomination papers were accepted by the Election Commission yesterday itself, when the BJP decided to officially file a complaint with the returning officer. So the Congress dismissed the allegation, saying that the nomination papers have been accepted. They don't have another political point to bring up, and that's why they're sticking to it, is what the Congress reacted. But if you look at her campaign, 2 days campaign, she reached out to maximum people possible. Unlike Rahul's campaign, where it was more restricted to public meetings and public campaigns, she ensured she touched upon every localities, specularities. Like when she reached Malappuram, which comes under the Wayanad parliamentary constituency, she went and met a football team here, interacted with the young footballers, knowing that the district Malappuram is known as the Mecca of Kerala football. So very effective, very smart campaigning is what we saw in the last 2 days. She was not much interested in the corner meetings. All the interest lied in, meeting more people directly, interacting with more people who she was meeting on the, on her way to various corner meetings. And we are expecting her to come from 3 to 7 in November and campaign for 5 straight days, is what the local leadership, the Congress leadership here is telling us. She wants to interact more with the people directly than addressing the crowd. She's spoken enough in the last 2 days, so now she wants to meet more people, understand the issues, because she does realize that there are many concrete issues that needs to be addressed. She's making a mention of all these issues in every speech, like the man-animal conflict, the night travel ban, the medical college, and most importantly, the Wayanad landslide victims, the rehabilitation package. Today she raised it consistently against the centre also, that no rehabilitation package has been announced for the victims of Wayanad landslide.
All right, appreciate you joining us, Shibi. We'll come back to you for more. Let's quickly cut across today to Jammu and Kashmir's Akhnoor sector, where the Indian armed forces gunned down 3 terrorists. The security forces eliminated 3 terrorists after they fired at an ambulance in the army convoy in Jammu Kashmir's Akhnoor sector. Unmanned vehicles and artificial intelligence along with drone technology was deployed by the forces in the manhunt. A big cache of weapons and ammunition has been recovered. However, unfortunately, the Indian Army's 4-year-old sniffer dog Phantom was killed in action during counter-terror operations. According to officials, the canine sustained fatal bullet injuries while trying to protect the troops from the assault.
हमने unmanned vehicles use करे इसमें, हमने इसमें थोड़ा artificial intelligence का इस्तेमाल किया, और ये सब मिलाकर हमको एक बहुत ही जल्दी और बहुत ही सक्सेसफुल हमको नतीजा इसका मिला है। हमने एक हमारा आर्मी डॉग खोया है, जो सर्च के दौरान आगे जब चल रहा था तो मिलिटेंट्स ने उस पर फायर किया था, और इस आर्मी डॉग ने शहादत दी है और इसकी वजह से कई जानें बची हैं।
Meanwhile, Thalapathy Vijay's first speech at the formal launch of TVK has sparked off a political war with DMK and Congress, slamming Vijay. While Vijay said that DMK and Congress were his prime political opponents, he maintained a stoic silence on AIDMK.
எப்போ பார்த்தாலும் இந்த ஃபாசிசம் அவ்வளோதான். ஒற்றுமையாக இருக்கிற நம்ம மக்கள் மத்தியில் இந்த சிறுபான்மை பெரும்பான்மைன்னு ஒரு பிரிவினை பயத்தை காட்டி ஒரு ஃபுல் டைம் சீனை போடுறதே ஒரு வேலையாக போச்சு. இல்லை, நான் தெரியாமல் தான் கேட்குறேன். அவங்க ஃபாசிசம்னா நீங்கள் என்ன பாயாசமா?
Actor turned politician Vijay's pointed attacks on the ruling DMK in his speech in Vikravandi on October 27 sparked a political showdown. Tamil Nadu Assembly Speaker M. Appavu lashed out at the Thalapathy. He called Vijay the BJP's proxy.
எதனால இந்த வார்த்தையை நம்ம சொல்ல வேண்டியிருக்குன்னா, அப்ப ஏதோ ஒரு வருமான வரித்துறையில மிகப்பெரிய ஒரு குற்றத்தை செய்வதற்காக கூப்பிட்டு வந்த மாதிரி தான் கூப்பிட்டு வந்திருக்காங்க. அதனால நம்ம ஒருவரை நோக்கி குற்றம் சொல்லும் போது தான் உண்மையா இருந்தாதான் நல்லது. அதுக்கு ஒரு உதாரணத்தை ஒன்றிய அரசு பாரதிய ஜனதா கட்சியில் இருந்து
பெரியார் சொன்ன கடவுள்.
The Congress claimed Vijay's fiery speech resembled cinema dialogues.
சினிமா வசனம் மாதிரி தெரியும். சினிமா வசனத்தை எல்லாம் கொள்கையா எடுத்துக்காதீங்க. சினிமா வசனம் மாதிரி தெரியும்.
The AIADMK meanwhile refused to comment on speculation about a tie-up with Vijay.
அதாவது ஒவ்வொரு கட்சிக்கும் ஒரு கொள்கை இருக்குது. அந்த கொள்கையின் அடிப்படையில் அவர் தெரிவிக்கிறாங்க. அதில் போய் இது சரியா அது சரியான நாம சொல்ல முடியாது. ஒன்று. இன்னொன்று என்ன கேள்வி கேட்டீங்க? ஏங்க, தேர்தலுக்கு இன்னும் 1.5 ஆண்டுக்கு இருக்குது. இப்போதான் ஒரு கட்சி ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்காரு. முதல் மாநில மாநாட்டை நடத்தியிருக்கிறாரு.
The state Congress chief reiterated the party will remain a part of the DMK-led alliance.
No, what he said is correct. Okay, welcome it. We are wishing. But our party, Congress party, is national party. Here, India alliance is very intact. We are very, very strong. There is no question. Even anything, our High Command, All India Congress Committee only going to take decision.
Vijay is set for a long haul in politics. While actors M.G. Ramachandran and Jayalalitha became chief ministers in the past, no actor since them has been as successful in their political careers.
All of these political parties say they are not bothered or threatened by Vijay's political entry. The fact of the matter is, all of them are adopting a wait-and-watch game to see the kind of impact that he makes in the coming days, because his entry is surely going to change the political dynamics in Tamil Nadu. With video journalist Daniel, this is Shilpa Nair in Chennai. Fine day today.
All right, with that, I'm going to go into a quick break. To stay with us on the other side is our fact check segment.
जाओगी कैसे?
हेलो, मैं आ रहा हूँ. भगा कर ले जाऊंगा.
सिक्योरिटी! भाग गए, पकड़ो उनको. हेलो.
बोला था ना, भगा कर ले जाऊंगा.
एक हिंट तो देते.
हिंट.
बड़े आराम से.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
एक दोस्त है जिससे बात किए बिना हम रह नहीं सकते. बातें घंटों की हों या कुछ सेकंड्स की. ये दोस्त हमेशा हमारी बात सुनता है, क्योंकि हमारा सबसे अच्छा दोस्त भगवान ही तो है. मंगलदीप, दिल से करो बात भगवान के साथ.
मेरा रुतबा है मेरा सिग्नेचर. मेरा जज्बा है मेरा सिग्नेचर. जमाने से हटकर, दुनिया की सोच से ऊपर. कुछ बुरी तो नहीं? बेबाक है मेरा सिग्नेचर। Signature finest cardamom seeds, a premium product from Dilbar Group.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
Hi, I am AI anchor Sana, bringing the top headlines for you, presented by Motorola. PM's Diwali gift to senior citizens aged 70 years and above, free treatment up to 5 lakh rupees every year. ED files charge sheet against Aam Aadmi Party MLA Amanat Ullah Khan in Waqf money laundering case. CM Abdullah on full statehood, says demand to be fulfilled after Jharkhand and Maharashtra assembly elections. You are watching Fact Check segment where we bust fake news. After agreeing to de-escalate border tensions and end the standoff along the line of actual control, India and China began disengagement in eastern Ladakh on 25th October. A video has been making the rounds on social media which allegedly shows troops of both nations chanting Jai Shri Ram. In it, Indian troops could be seen teaching Chinese soldiers how to pronounce Jai Shri Ram and then chanting it together. India Today Fact Check, however, found that this video has been on social media since as early as January 2024 and thus unrelated to the recent disengagement decision. Reverse searching keyframes from the viral video led us to the same video shared in a Facebook post dated 22nd January 2024, making it clear that it predates the India-China disengagement by several months. Per reports, the video emerged from the line of actual control at a time when China and India were locked in a border standoff. Incidentally, news reports about the video from January also mentioned that this video was likely from Ladakh's Chebzichumar area. Thus, it's clear this video is not related to the recent disengagement process between India and China. This fact check on viral fake news is done by India Today's team Thaw. With that, a quick break. Stay with us for the latest news and updates. This is AI Sana signing off.
पर्सनल लड़ाई नहीं है, ये राजनीतिक लड़ाई है। वर्लीकरों को हमको न्याय देना है, उनकी समस्याओं को मुख्यमंत्री तक पहुंचाना है, यही हमारा उद्देश्य है। कोई मेरे मुंह से आपको कोई भी नेगेटिविटी नहीं दिखाई देगा। कंस्ट्रक्टिव सकारात्मक लड़ाई होगी, सकारात्मक मुद्दों के आधार पर हम लड़ाई लड़ेंगे।
दुख इस बात का होता है कि किस तरीके से भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने सत्ता में आने के लिए धन बल का इस्तेमाल कर एजेंसीज का इस्तेमाल कर आज परिवारों में लड़ाई कराई है, पार्टियों को तोड़ा है और फिर भी जनता इनके साथ नहीं है, ना इनके साथ सहानुभूति है। उम्मीद है कि आने वाले समय में जो भी इस तरीके की मन में सोच रखता होगा कि पार्टियों को तोड़ो, परिवारों को लड़ाओ, उनसे महाराष्ट्र का जो नतीजा आएगा उनसे ये लोग सब सबक सीखेंगे।
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Good evening, viewers. You're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Choudhry, and let's put the focus now on the state of Maharashtra, where the stakes are very, very high, viewers. But everybody knows the returns are going to be higher. So it's all in. Mahayudh for Maharashtra has only intensified. The deadline for filing nominations for the Maharashtra Assembly elections ends today. It's actually ended. Today was the last day to file nominations. But strangely, all of this is happening when seat sharing isn't quite finalized. Shiv Sena's Worli candidate, though, Milan Deora, filed his nomination today. The Maha Vikas Aghadi sealed its seat sharing formula, with Congress getting the lion's share. But still, the tussle continues, not just in the Aghadi, but also within the Mahayuti, where last-minute seat-sharing tussles continue. Amidst this, Nawab Malik filed his nomination at the end moment. He will be fighting on the NCP ticket from Mankhurd Shivaji Nagar constituency. Meanwhile, Swapna Patkar, prime witness in the Patra Chaul scam, is set to fight independently against Sunil Raut, incumbent MLA and brother of Sanjay Raut from Vikhroli constituency.
इस बार शिवसेना और महायुति पूरी थंपिंग मेजोरिटी से जीतेगी, क्योंकि 2.5 साल महाविकास आघाड़ी ने सब रोड़े डाले थे, काम बंद किए थे, प्रोजेक्ट बंद किया था, उनको हमने शुरू कर दिया। और इसलिए हम ये डबल इंजन की सरकार में 2 साल में इतना काम किया है। इस काम के बलबूते पर महाराष्ट्र की जनता फिर ये महायुति के पक्ष में वोट डालेगी और अब तक के सारे रिकॉर्ड तोड़ेगी, थंपिंग मेजोरिटी मिलेगी।
वर्ली का विजन वही होगा जो स्थानिक नागरिकों का विजन है, वही मुख्यमंत्री साहब का विजन है। मैं वर्ली करो, मुंबई करो, दक्षिण मुंबई करो के लिए हमेशा काम करने को तैयार हूँ, MP हूँ या ना हूँ। माई एम इज टू वर्क फॉर पीपल। हमारे संबंध दक्षिण मुंबई और मुंबई, ये कोई हमारी जन्मभूमि है, कर्मभूमि भी है। मुंबई में जो कॉमन मैन है, सबसे बड़ा समस्या हाउसिंग का है। यही विजन मुख्यमंत्री पूरी मुंबई में लागू कर रहे हैं। घाटकोपर की रमाबाई नगर, वर्ली के BDD चौल, यही काम को हम आगे ले जाना चाहते हैं।
दुख इस बात का होता है कि किस तरीके से भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने सत्ता में आने के लिए धनबल का इस्तेमाल कर एजेंसीज का इस्तेमाल कर आज परिवारों में लड़ाई कराई है, पार्टियों को तोड़ा है, और फिर भी जनता इनके साथ नहीं है, ना इनके साथ सहानुभूति है। उम्मीद है कि आने वाले समय में जो भी इस तरीके की मन में सोच रखता होगा कि पार्टियों को तोड़ो, परिवारों को लड़ाओ, उनसे महाराष्ट्र का जो नतीजा आएगा, उनसे ये लोग सब सबक सीखेंगे।
All right, lots of politicking going on where Maharashtra is concerned. Let's immediately cut across to our Mumbai bureau chief, Sahil Joshi, who's joining us live with the latest. Sahil, what does it look like? Nomination day is over. It's curtains down, but still lots of niggles and ifs and buts where seat sharing is concerned. We might be looking at a few friendly fights.
Well, the nominations are over, but despite that, what we could see is that, at least 3 to 4 places in Mahayuti as well as in Mahavikas Aghadi, there are likely to be friendly fights, or we can call, the parties, the alliance partners have put up candidates against each other. Now, interestingly, if you see that in Shivaji Nagar Mankhurd, where Nawab Malik is a candidate of NCP Ajit Pawar, and the BJP had objected to it, the seat had actually gone to NCP Ajit Pawar, but despite that, and they had also objected that Nawab Malik shouldn't be the candidate, but despite that, Ajit Pawar thought that it is appropriate to give him the ticket. Shiv Sena, Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena has decided to put up the candidate and have said that Nawab Malik cannot be a Mahayuti candidate. So you will see a NCP candidate fighting with the Shiv Sena BJP candidate in Mankhurd Shivaji Nagar. Similarly, in couple of places in Marathwada, say in Paranda, where the NCP SP candidate is also there, as well as Shiv Sena UBT had put up the candidate. Similarly, in Raigad district, what we are seeing is that the Mahavikas Aghadi alliance partner PWP has put up candidates against Shiv Sena UBT. So there are multiple ways these things are happening. The other angle to this is that there is a rise in the rebellion within the parties, maybe also because of the seat sharing arrangements, but also because the anger against the decision of the party. Say for example, Borivali, which is supposed to be a BJP stronghold seat, the BJP veteran leader from the area, Gopal Shetty, who was a former member of parliament, and he was replaced by Piyush Goyal in 2024 Lok Sabha elections, had decided that he cannot take no more, and that's why he is in the fray as an independent candidate, saying that the BJP cannot take him for granted, and he has put himself as a assembly independent candidate for Borivali Assembly. So such kind of situations we have seen, but by and large, the Mahayuti and Mahavikas Aghadi finally has managed to solve the seat sharing formula, and finally today we got the figure. What we could see now is that the BJP is fighting on almost 148 seats plus 4 seats they have left to the smaller alliance partners like RPI or RSP or Janaswarajya Party. The Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena is fighting almost 78 seats, and 1 seat Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena has left for MNS, and 1 seat they have left for RPI, which will be contesting on their own symbol. Shiv Sena UBT is contesting on 96 seats. Congress is fighting on 104, and NCP SP is fighting on 86 seats, whereas NCP Ajit Pawar will be contesting on 52 seats at this point of time. So this is by and large a situation here. And there are going to be some rebels, and next 3-4 days, especially the Diwali days, will be spent by the political leaders to explain the people who have rebelled against the party or the alliance decision. So that is going to be, it will be really interesting to see what happens in next couple of days.
So I'll stay with me. We're also going to be cutting across to Rajdeep Sardesai, but let me also bring in Ashutosh, author and political analyst, Rajat Sethi, political commentator. Ashutosh, what's going to be also interesting in all of this is, and it will happen on both sides of the political divide, nomination day might have been ended, it might be curtains down, but it's going to be all important on when is the final day to take back your nomination. That will practically decide where each of these parties stand and how well they've been able to manage the rebels and the independent friendly fights.
See, Preeti, I don't read much into these rebellions or these other kinds of accusations, because in electoral politics and coalition politics, these are things which will happen and which keep happening in every election, whether it was the Haryana election or a parliament election or in Maharashtra itself. Look at Haryana election. There were a lot of candidates, a lot of rebellions. So every time when the ticket distribution happens in every constituency, there will be 10 claimants, only 1 claimant will get the ticket. So there will be problems. And in the coalition politics, if one party wants his candidate to be given ticket, then other party will also stake claim for them. So I don't read much into this. The issue is that in this election, where at one side is the 3 political parties led by Uddhav Thackeray, Sharad Pawar and the Congress. Other is Eknath Shinde, Fadnavis and Ajit Pawar. So whether the people of Maharashtra are going to accept the splitting of political parties, whether they'll accept that, or the kind of accusation which Uddhav Thackeray is labeling against these political parties are the Sharad Pawar parties labeling that they are Gaddars. So the issue is this. How come the...
But Ashutosh, many who've been on ground actually now differ to concur with what you're saying. And, give me 1 minute. I want to bring in Rajdeep Sardesai, who's walked in with his new book in his hand into the studio. But, Rajdeep, with what Ashutosh is saying, that, it's still a matter of the Gaddar. I don't think the Gaddar factor is any more prevalent where this election is concerned. It's got more to do with beneficiary schemes. It's got more to do with independence. It's got more to do with a lot else other than what was the narrative in Lok Sabha.
I think what has happened, and you're right, to a large extent, I think in the last 5 months, what we've seen is increasingly the Maharashtra elections getting tied up in hyper-local factors. And you can see that in seat distribution. Why are parties changing their candidates? Because they're looking for winnability at the local level. Across the spectrum, across parties, if there is one thing that seems to unite all the political parties at the moment, is their desperation to look for candidates who they perceive as winnable, even if that means getting them to switch their symbol, defying their allies if possible, having friendly fights. We are seeing this with Nawab Malik. Think about it. Till a week ago, the BJP said Nawab Malik is a Dawood aide who should be denied a ticket. As a result, Nawab Malik got his daughter to fight from his old seat where he won last time, Anushakti Nagar. And in the neighboring constituency now, he will fight on an NCP Ajit Pawar seat against a candidate of the Eknath Shinde faction in what some are calling a friendly fight. Others are saying it is a fight to the finish. So every constituency, and this is across the state, you're seeing increasingly localized fights. As a result of which, I don't know whether there is any single narrative, whether it's beneficiary schemes, whether it's Gaddar, that's running all the way from Marathwada to Vidarbha to North Maharashtra to Konkan, Mumbai. So that is, I think, a defining characteristic as of now of this Maharashtra election. The fact that you're seeing hyper-localization, Preeti, being taken to another level.
Rajdeep, one quick question before we let you go. Do you think, because yes, it's curtains down where nomination is concerned, but the games will actually begin when it's going to be curtains down on taking back nominations, because a lot is going to happen from here on till then?
Absolutely. Just look at the number of rebels. Virtually every constituency has a rebel or an independent who is relatively strong, has been denied a ticket and is contesting. Look at someone like Samir Bhujbal, the nephew of Chhagan Bhujbal. He is contesting as an independent. Now, he's the kind of independent who will either expect to win or defeat one of the main contenders. Now, can you get a Samir Bhujbal to withdraw? Are there other such rebels who can be withdrawn? There are reports of how the Shinde Sena has put up a few strong candidates because they want to defeat someone within the Mahayuti. Similarly, you're hearing similar stories within the Mahavikas Aghadi that there are Congress candidates who may be contesting as independents with the sole purpose of defeating their official candidate. Who manages the rebels is a major factor.
Which side has a better tendency to manage and make their rebels or certain independents sit down?
Look, I would expect...
How much money is going to play a big role in all of this?
Money is a big... money plays a major role, but the fact is that the BJP has prepared for this election, I think, more than their competitors. They've been preparing over the last 5 months and course correcting. Having said that, someone like Sharad Pawar understands the ground realities of Maharashtra possibly better than most, even at the age of 84. So you're seeing in someone like Sharad Pawar, someone who has the capacity to at least understand what is required at the ground level, which rebel needs to be put up, which rebel needs to be withdrawn. I think there are a variety of reasons that make this election in Maharashtra, therefore, much more about management than mahal. Some elections are about building a mahal, anti-incumbency, Gaddar. These are the emotive issues, Maharashtrian Asmita. And some elections, Preeti, become about management of the last mile connectivity, ensuring rebels are either put up or withdrawn at the last moment to ensure either a division of votes or a consolidation of votes. And I think you're going to see that play out in a major way in Maharashtra this time.
Well, the BJP had the better of the Congress where Haryana was concerned, and exactly what Rajdeep was saying. But, with the issues that he's speaking of, Rajat Sethi, I want to pull you in on this, because one of the issues that the BJP is hoping to bank is on the issue of Hindutva. There are posters all across Maharashtra as well as Jharkhand where batenge to katenge, clarion call of unity, where Hindus in Maharashtra are concerned, hoping to paper over the fault lines which come in, where the Dalit vote, the OBC vote and the division there, especially with what we saw in Lok Sabha.
So I don't think, Preeti ji, that this is the official BJP's campaign slogan for either of the states of Jharkhand or Maharashtra. But as you know, in election season, a lot of local leaders also put up posters in what they believe is the best way to go about presenting their perspective to the public. And I believe it is this local level leadership who has come up with these posters, largely trying to allay the fears that if a similar Maratha consolidation happens towards the Aghadi, and the OBC reverse polarization is not as much as the BJP would anticipate, this is going to go, against the BJP. And this is the reason why a lot of local leaders, local contestants of the BJP would want to ensure that there is no division within the Hindu bloc of vote. I don't think it's going to work that well. There are a lot of local issues. There is anti-incumbency against sitting MLAs as well. But this election is an election of very, very low margin of errors. And across party lines, everybody is forced to retain most of their sitting MLAs, primarily because they cannot risk them going out and cutting into the vote. And I think this is where every party, all the 6 major parties are struggling to ensure that their flock is together. There is no, doubts on vote transfer between the parties on one common alliance. And we saw in the Lok Sabha election that the NCP Ajit Pawar vote did not get transferred to the BJP or Shiv Sena. Will that problem come up again? Those are the set of challenges which a lot of the alliance partners and the local leaders are really worried about across party lines, by the way.
Rajat, stay with me because, what we were speaking of, let's just play it out there because there are these posters which are coming in. And yes, this is not the official line, but elections are not fought on one particular narrative. It's like an onion. There are multiple layers to it. If there's a Ladki Behan Yojana which appeals to a certain set, then possibly a batenge to katenge narrative will appeal, to somebody else where Maharashtra is concerned. But Ashutosh, I want to bring you in on that. And that's the problem because a lot of political analysts seem to be getting swayed with what the numbers and what the narrative was in Lok Sabha 2024. Haryana is a prime example. That didn't quite happen. This is increasingly looking like a localized election and one needs to manage it very, very well. The question is, does the Aghadi actually understand that? Because many thought that they practically breezed into this election thinking they had it in the bag because 2024 Lok Sabha Maharashtra result favored them. You're on mute, sir.
See, Preeti, every election is a different election. It's unfair to compare parliamentary elections in 2024 with the Maharashtra election. Yes, there is a background, and in that background, everybody thought that the BJP will have a tough time in Haryana. But look what happened over there. Similarly, in Maharashtra, the BJP could not get even 20 seats. They just reduced to the 17 seats with their allies. So on that basis, if we are going to predict that the BJP is going to have a tough time in Maharashtra and the Aghadi is ahead, I'm not buying that argument. The point is very, very simple. Today, that even Aghadi, if it wants to win the election, then they have to regroup, they have to be more cohesive, more disciplined, and have to create a narrative. Till now, has they been able to create a narrative? I don't think that narrative is still created. Till now, the BJP has been able to create a narrative. No, I don't see that also happening. So the issue is now once the nomination is over, once the scrutiny is over, when the candidates are finalized, only then the clear picture will emerge. I don't agree with this about the last mind management. See, BJP and the RSS has been doing it for donkey's years. It's not that in every one election they micromanage, in the next election they don't micromanage. So this is the hyper advertisement about the Haryana they won because of their micromanagement. I don't buy that argument. My point is simple. On the day of the polling, which political party has connected well with the people is ahead and can win the election, and the party which fails to connect with the people just fails.
Rajat, one of those very factors that we are speaking of, and there are multiple ones, to bring in because, again, viewers, you can't talk about one single narrative and say that this is what the BJP or the opposition, the Aghadi, is going into this election with. There are multiple narratives that each of the alliances are going to take to the people, and it depends which one strikes the chord with whom. But, Rajat, one of those factors which we saw, and of course, Haryana was just a micro example of what is a macro state like Maharashtra, is the RSS factor. And this time around, there seems to be a cohesive push where the RSS is concerned as well. Very vocal is that. On mute, Rajat.
I beg to differ with Ashutosh ji on this point. Very small activities of actually knocking every single door in a campaign cycle, having enough number of workers and enough number of your well-wishers on the ground who can go out and ask for vote. As simple a gesture as that. If you do not have enough manpower on the ground, even doing that becomes very hard. And this is where you would want to wish away RSS's role. But contrary to that, it is that ground mobilization of your workers who, by the way, have to be enthused about what you are standing for. Is there ideological purity in what you stand for? All of those things are going to mobilize people on the ground for the UT or for the BJP per se. But narrative building is essentially the exercise of the opposition. When opposition mounts the campaign against you, that is how that's when they need to have the right set of narrative. What has happened in the 3-4 months post Lok Sabha results, the Aghadi went into a comfort zone that Maharashtra is anyway going to fall into their lap no matter what. And they wasted a considerable amount of time not building up the anger or the passions that they could have potentially built up in terms of narrative. And I think this is what the incumbent government of the Yuti has been able to do. Essentially, an incumbent manages the state of affairs. You have government policies to put forth, etc. And I think Yuti did fantastically well. And now that they have some narrative around some of these schemes, etc., to go back to the people and at least talk about it.
Ashutosh wants to make a point. Ashutosh, come in.
See, if you go back to the parliamentary elections in 2024, which political party or which alliance was the most well prepared? It was NDA. But look, last minute, they failed. So, Ram Mandir was built over there. There was a 10 years, Narendra Modi's popularity was there. And there was a RSS, BJP muscle power was there. Organization was there. Resources were there. But still, they could not get the 272. That's what I'm trying to say. That it's not that in one election, the BJP and the RSS tries to micromanage or have a Panna Pramukh. In the next election, they will not have that. They do have that. In 2004, they lost badly. In 2009, they lost again. So the issue is how much a political formation is in a position to connect with the people and whether the people are resonating with that narrative. If one political formation succeeds in that, they win the election. It's as simple. I'm not buying the argument that in Haryana they manage, in Maharashtra they manage, the parliament they did not micromanage. No, it happens every time. That is their style.
I'm running out of time, and that's all the time that we have for. But the debate's going to continue in days to come. But viewers, one thing that we need to look out for. The nominations might have ended in the battleground of Maharashtra, and everybody understands the significance of this state as we go into this election. But the real game will begin when the last date happens on taking back your nominations, because a lot is going to take place from now and the 3rd or the 4th of November. And after that is going to be when the real picture emerges. It's game on post the 4th of November. We're going to get you up to speed with the latest. Appreciate all our guests for joining us. A quick break. Stay with us. News continues with Rahul Kaur.
एक दोस्त है जिससे बात किए बिना हम रह नहीं सकते, बातें घंटों की हों या कुछ सेकंड्स की। ये दोस्त हमेशा हमारी बात सुनता है, क्योंकि हमारा सबसे अच्छा दोस्त भगवान ही तो है। मंगलदीप, दिल से करो बात भगवान के साथ।
मेरा रुतबा है मेरा सिग्नेचर। मेरा जज्बा है मेरा सिग्नेचर। जमाने से हटकर, दुनिया की सोच से ऊपर, कुछ बुरी तो नहीं। बेबाक है मेरा सिग्नेचर। Signature finest cardamom seeds, a premium product from Dilbar Group.
पर्सनल लड़ाई नहीं है, ये राजनीतिक लड़ाई है। वर्लीकरों को हमको न्याय देना है, उनकी समस्याओं को मुख्यमंत्री तक पहुंचाना है, यही हमारा उद्देश्य है। कोई मेरे मुंह से आपको कोई भी नेगेटिविटी नहीं दिखाई देगा। कंस्ट्रक्टिव सकारात्मक लड़ाई होगी, सकारात्मक मुद्दों के आधार पर हम लड़ाई लड़ेंगे।
दुख इस बात का होता है कि किस तरीके से भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने सत्ता में आने के लिए धनबल का इस्तेमाल कर कर, एजेंसीज का इस्तेमाल कर कर आज परिवारों में लड़ाई कराई है, पार्टियों को तोड़ा है और फिर भी जनता इनके साथ नहीं है, ना इनके साथ सहानुभूति है। उम्मीद है कि आने वाले समय में जो भी इस तरीके की मन में सोच रखता होगा कि पार्टियों को तोड़ो, परिवारों को लड़ाओ, उनसे महाराष्ट्र का जो नतीजा आएगा उनसे ये लोग सब सबक सीखेंगे।
पर्सनल लड़ाई नहीं है, ये राजनीतिक लड़ाई है। वर्लीकरों को हमको न्याय देना है, उनकी समस्याओं को मुख्यमंत्री तक पहुंचाना है, यही हमारा उद्देश्य है। कोई मेरे मुंह से आपको कोई भी नेगेटिविटी नहीं दिखाई देगा। कंस्ट्रक्टिव सकारात्मक लड़ाई होगी, सकारात्मक मुद्दों के आधार पर हम लड़ाई लड़ेंगे।
दुख इस बात का होता है कि किस तरीके से भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने सत्ता में आने के लिए धनबल का इस्तेमाल कर कर, एजेंसीज का इस्तेमाल कर कर आज परिवारों में लड़ाई कराई है, पार्टियों को तोड़ा है और फिर भी जनता इनके साथ नहीं है, ना इनके साथ सहानुभूति है। उम्मीद है कि आने वाले समय में जो भी इस तरीके की मन में सोच रखता होगा कि पार्टियों को तोड़ो, परिवारों को लड़ाओ, उनसे महाराष्ट्र का जो नतीजा आएगा उनसे ये लोग सब सबक सीखेंगे।
Weather forecast now. Delhi, maximum 34 and minimum 23 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 30 and minimum 26 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 32 and minimum 24 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 27 and minimum 21 degrees. Chennai, maximum 32 and minimum 27 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 30 and minimum 21 degrees.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Presented by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, Growing Legacies.
Co-presented by Club Prime, Raho Befikar. Co-presented by एक हिंट तो देते, हिंट बड़े आराम से. Co-powered by the bold look of Kohler.
At India Today, we aspire to be the world's healthiest newsroom and inspire a healthier nation. We urge you to take care of your heart health and watch over your heart.
Exactly. And now with the Samsung Galaxy Watch Ultra, we can do just that. The irregular heart rhythm notification IHRN continuously monitors your heart rate and alerts you if there are any abnormalities. It's a life-saving feature, prompting you to take an ECG if something seems off and seek medical help if needed. The Samsung Galaxy Watch Ultra and Watch 7, your intelligent health companion.
Good evening and welcome. You're watching the news track. I'm Rahul Kamal. Which way are the political winds blowing in Maharashtra? Results of this week's edition of the Political Stock Exchange coming up on the news track.
Maha state of war locked and loaded.